Hey girl, hey, welcome back to the Organic Marketing Simplified podcast. I was about to say Organic Marketing Queen. Sometimes I forget because I have been through so many rebrands that a girl was like, what are we calling the podcast this day? Anyway, today I am excited to share with you the 5 things that I did that helped me grow my business to 100K. So if you're new around here, when I started this podcast, I started a business with it. And this podcast started on May 15th, 2020. And from May 15th, 2020 until December 2021, I was really going all in with Etsy. My background is in e-commerce. We have an Amazon store, an Etsy shop, and that's what I was talking about in my podcast back then. But when December hit, December 2021, I was just kind of like staring at the ceiling, really having this moment of like, I have said everything there is to say about Etsy. People had notebooks on my show that they were taking notes on, and they could apply those things to their show and have success. I had the coaching clients and things like that, but I was starting to feel very unfulfilled because I felt like I had said everything there was to say about Etsy. And I honestly feel like, and my podcast, my episodes about Etsy are still up to this day. And if somebody goes and listens to those episodes and they apply those things, they can have success. Okay. So, there was nothing else I could say about Etsy, at least in my eyes. And I was like, okay, like this business needs a shift. And what is that shift going to be? So I started to think about the other things that I'm good at. And I'm like, well, I'm a successful podcaster. So it was the next thing that I started this podcast management agency. It was December of 2021 that I actually got my first podcast management client. And then, January rolled around and I started getting more clients, but I still didn't make that shift officially until much later. So it wasn't until March that I was like, you know what, I am pulling myself off of the Etsy world, the e-commerce world, and I'm going all in podcast management. So that's when I made public. Up until that point, my business was growing in this very speakeasy kind of way, but it was growing organically. That's the story that I'm going to share with you today. Like the 5 things that I did to grow my business to 100K. It was actually over 100K in essentially like less than 1 year. So I'm super excited to share that with you. Okay, so now let's talk about the things that I did, the 5 things that I did to hit 100K. So number one thing, and by the way, I'm saying number one thing, but like these are not in any order, okay? But I'm saying number one just for the sake of staying on track. But anyway, number one thing, it was like launching. So you have to not be afraid to launch things in your business. So even though I own a podcast management agency and essentially I'm offering a service, I still use principles in my business from online marketing. So I'm still doing launches in my business because I want more clients to come in. So launching is something that I was very mindful about doing in 2022 to help me get more visibility, to get the hype up in about the services that I offer and things like that. And do not undervalue the power of launching. Launching is amazing. And I actually had a podcast that I just did on this. I am going to grab the number for you right now so you can go ahead and listen to that episode right after you listen to this so that you change your mind about launching, because launching really is great. So that episode was episode 257. It was all about launching. So go ahead and like do a deep dive on that episode. Take notes because it's juicy. Okay. The next thing that I did was network. So network was again how I grew my business. So not being afraid to talk to people and to let people know, not in a scammy way, not in a way of like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Juliana and I own a podcast management agency. Like really trying to build authentic relationships with people and just network, like just getting to know other people better and, having like those relationships with people. It has been amazing for my growth. So especially if honestly, I was going to say, especially if you have a service-based business, but it doesn't matter whether you have a service-based business or a product-based business, you have to network with people and get out there for people to know what it is that you do. Don't be afraid to get out of your bubble, to put yourself out there. And one of the things that I know with the women in my audience is that you're not treating your business like a business. You're kind of like treating it like this side thing. And whether it is because people don't understand what it is that you do, whether it's because you have been at it for a while and you still are not making the income that you hope to be making from your business, I just want to empower you to take the leap of faith and like have that self-trust that you have a good business, right? That you are building something amazing, that we just need some few tweaks to make that happen for you. But make sure that you are networking, that you are talking to people. Don't feel like that just because you're building an online business that you cannot talk about the things that you're doing to like people that you know, like real people, like your neighbors, your friends, people at church. So network, 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 and let people know what it is that you do. Now, the next thing that I did was really put myself out there and like really work on my visibility. For a little while, I was trying to be like on LinkedIn and what is the other thing? Instagram. Like I was trying, to, I don't know, do whatever it is that people do on Instagram. But honestly, when it comes down to it, Instagram is not my thing. So I deleted my account, and I have LinkedIn, but I have not been active on LinkedIn for a hot minute just because it's like really, I don't get LinkedIn. Like anyway, it's neither here nor there. But the way that I focus on my visibility was through tried and true methods. So like making more episodes on my podcast, because the episodes on my podcast are evergreen, working on SEO. So like the things that I actually have control over, Pinterest, like those are the things that I worked on. And of course, like putting myself out there, if you go back to launching, whenever you launch a program, you have more eyeballs on you, right? So whether you are trying to get more people to sign up for your challenge, to sign up for your freebie, to hop on a call with you, whatever it is, however it is that you're launching your program, that is working on the visibility as well. So because I did work on launching more, I was naturally putting myself out there more. And again, like working on my visibility and getting over visibility fears was obviously a huge one, which kind of goes into the next thing that I did, which is to work on my mindset. Like, listen, you just have to work on your mindset. Like, there is no like any other way to say it. And by working your mindset, you just have to understand one thing. You have this calling in your heart, and it's there. And no matter how many times you have tried to be like, oh, I'm done with this business, I'm not going to do it, and you like pack it up and you put it away, that desire is always there and it's never going to go away. So know that that is a gift from God, that God gave you this gift, and he's like, daughter, open up the gift. Daughter, open up the gift. Girl, open up the gift. So open up the gift that God has given you. Don't like stuff it away in a drawer somewhere and like try to ignore it, because you can't. You physically cannot. So once you understand that this calling in your heart is actually a gift from God, and that if God gave you that gift, it's because you were fully equipped to open up that gift, there's a shift that happens in your mindset. So you start to worry a little bit less about the visibility fears, right? You start to worry a little bit less about what are people going to say. That's not to say that you're not going to have those thoughts, because listen, we're still human and those thoughts are going to come up. But one of the things that was very clear to me once I became Christian, which it happened in November 2022, was really understanding God in like such a capacity that I had never understood before. And it really did help me with my mindset in so many different ways. So once, and especially for me, because, coming out of the new age and being saved and things like that, like, how the story ends. We know we win. When you have that perspective, it changes things for you. So work on your mindset, have a relationship with God, bring God into your business. If you are getting stuck right now, if you're afraid to launch, if you have those visibility fears, ask God for help. If you are afraid of what people are going to say, ask God for help. Don't be afraid to ask God for help, but ask God to help you on your mindset, because you need to have your mindset right, because those fears are going to come up. Those distractions are going to come up. So you need to have a strong partnership with God in order for your business to really, truly flourish and grow. So have that relationship with God, work on your mindset, because that is going to allow you to overcome those obstacles that you have been trying to overcome thus far and you have not been able to. Whatever problem you have, ask God for help and he will help you. And okay, the next thing that I did was trying out new things. So, I tried out new offers. I tried out a masterclass. I actually tried out a couple of masterclasses in 2022. I did hybrid offers. I started offering more coaching. So there were just like different things that I did that I wasn't like, okay, this is what I do. And this is what I'm just going to do this one offer. And like, listen, I do appreciate having one offer, and I want to make an episode about that. At the end of the day, it's not like, while I tried different things and I tried out different offers, they were all around one central theme, which is, using your podcast to promote your business, to grow your visibility, to just put you on the map in a very organic way that does not involve, the social medias of the world. And it worked, by the way, but also like it was all around that one central theme, right? Like, so I did try different offers, but they were all around the same theme. So it's not like I had a masterclass on email marketing and then I had a masterclass on, I don't know, man, on TikTok. And then the next day I had a course on Instagram Reels. Like, no, like it was, my offers all surround the same thing, which is to use podcast to grow your influence. But I did try different things, and I feel like it was really helpful for me to try different things, because there are, the coaches out there who do believe you have to have this one offer and just promote this one offer. And listen, that's not to say that that's wrong, but how can you possibly know what is the thing that you're going to like until you try different things? So I think you have to be willing to experiment different things until you find the thing that you really like. Of course, with that being said, like I said, all of the offers that I have are around one central theme. I'm not shooting for every platform known to man. I know what my thing is. But I'm glad that I tried different things. I'm glad that I tried masterclass and coaching, and I offer my podcast management services. And that really allowed me to see, okay, I really like this. I don't like this so much. And also like optimizing my offers and like doing hybrid offers and things like that. So honestly, like as I thought about this, those are really the 5 things that I did to really help me with my business. And let me tell you that it wasn't like rainbows and lollipops and like glitter, like falling from the sky. Like there were real hardships. Like people like to talk about my 100K a year and things like that, but there were hardships. There were many things that happened throughout the year, and things continue to happen, and it just is what it is. So I don't want to give you like false hope that you're going to do these 5 things and like life is going to be amazing and you're never going to have challenges again, because that's not reality. But when you have like a bigger vision for your business and you are focusing on the things that are actually moving the needle forward in your business, that's when you see real growth. And if I can actually add like one extra thing that I did here, was like trying to be playful with business, right? Like treat things like, okay, if this were a game, like what would be the next move, right? Because I feel like that kind of removes some of that pressure to have things right, to do things perfectly. It's something that I didn't try all of 2022, but when I did have like those moments of like, okay, if this were easy, what would I do? Like if this were a game, what would be the next piece? It really helped me not overthink things so much. And I think when you kind of have like the mentality of like, listen, I'm going to try this thing, and if it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. You can go a lot farther, a lot faster. So I really hope this episode has been super helpful to you. Next time, may you be wrapped in peace, love, and kindness, and may you find the love of God. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.